Hello, it's another Hump Day Q&A. I don't know, we change the name every, couple months to something else, but that feels good over the summertime, right? So we are here ready to answer some questions this week. Last week, we had a great time just sort of like chatting and having a great conversation and sharing ideas and thoughts on things. But this week, we do have some questions that have come in during the week, but we also have a wonderful review of and what's great is a three-person review of the shampoo and conditioner and leave-in conditioner line. We've got Miss Diana here, Miss Susan here, and Miss Joan, who just got to try it this morning, to share on that. And Joan, you also got to try the hair glaze and the reveal. So we're gonna tackle all that pretty soon here. So let me introduce I'm like, I don't know when, but it's going to be part of today. So let me introduce everyone. We've got Miss Diana Webb from Wellness is Essential with Diana.
Hello. Welcome to a Watermelon Wednesday.
Ooh, what is that? Like a agua fresca?
It's watermelon juice with sparkling water and a few drops of white grapefruit.
Ooh, that does sound really good. Refreshing, right? And you had a, what did you do today? You had a special day today, getting to be a presenter.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I participated in the Tell the Truth Summit, and it was all about just like working with energetic frequencies and how energy is everything, and a sound bath and beautiful music, and also just like a lot of inspiring speakers, and I got to speak, so that was really nice. I talked about my emotions, about the classes that I teach, the things that I specialize in, which is to teach about Desiree Mangan-Dogg's protocols and the oil applications and stuff to help you move forward in your life by helping you let go of those things that you need to let go of emotionally.
I can't wait. I gotta see if I can pop in and check it out on a recording. It sounded really cool. Lots of cool speakers too. So I'm glad that, you're still hanging out with us on Hump Day Q&A after such a fun, cool experience today with all the pros over there. All right. We also have coming from on the road, Miss Tammy Lane from PurePlantOils.
Hi there, everybody from Oregon, soon to be in Washington State.
Very good. Moving along. We need like a little map so we can track you, like a little, we have our wonderful partner, Miss Susan Velazquez from EpiphanyESsentials.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. And the refreshed and revealed and rejuvenated, beautiful Miss Joan. Actually, she always looks this good, but Joan Sberro from BosqueOm Essentials.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I don't have a watermelon drink, but I do have some yummy chocolate protein.
Oh,
so there you go.
Very nice. Very nice. I love it. I am assuming soon Susan's tea delivery will come in and we will get to find out what she's having.
I don't know why I have a block that I can't get tea made before 4:30, but
it usually comes about 4:45. So
I have a good delivery service. Yeah, it's brewing as we speak.
Right. It's almost like it all gets triggered, right? I've got a cute little ghosty mug here who's super cute. Isn't he adorable? I love him. He's a new friend. He actually was a friend who arrived at my house last year, but I wasn't home. So I finally got to start playing with him now. So, okay, I'm Kari from RavensNestEssentials, and we have some questions. The first one came, if you were a part of our class that we did on Monday night about pain, one of the gals who was attending class was asking about how to take the lifelong vitality. And, sometimes we forget. That's like a really good question, because there's a lot of pills, seemingly, especially when you're new. You look at it and go, what the heck am I doing? Because typically people who are interested in this aren't even naturally like pill taking folk, or supplement people by nature. And you look at it and it can be overwhelming. So her question was, do you take all of them, meaning all three of the, that series at the same time. And, are there going to be problems with that? So who would like to jump in and share the best way to go ahead and take your lifelong vitality? Susan, you're unmuted, so I'm heading to your way.
I will gladly jump in. The answer is yes, you can take all three together, right? And so when we talk about all three, we're talking about the, I wanted to say LLV, but that is all three. The VMZ, the XC Omega, and the Alpha CRS, right? So we're talking about those three products, and they're actually made to work in harmony together, right? So one is all of your vitamins and minerals, the other is all of your healthy fats and a unique essential oil blend, and the other is all the great botanicals that are helpful for us in terms of our cellular support, our inflammatory state, and all those kinds of things. So they're meant to dovetail together. They're all great products on their own, right? And you could take any one of them if you wanted just that portion of it, but they're really meant to work together so that you get a full nutritional, a well-rounded nutritional profile as your, your baseline support. We always talk about like that foundational support, the bottom of the pyramid, so it falls right under that eat right, kind of foundation that we talk about. So yes, take all three together. And for most of us, we split it into two doses, right? And so the benefit of that being that you're keeping the steady state, right, in the bloodstream of all this wonderful nutrition. You can spread it out more. Yes, I have deliveries here.
Delivery. $4.39. Okay.
Here. I'm actually no longer a New Mexico Tech mom. I am now mom alumnus.
Oh, there you go.
However you say that right.
Alumna.
Anyway. So you could spread them out if you wanted to, right? But I don't see any reason to, unless the number of capsules is problematic for you. And I will say, as a non-supplement person starting this, it's been probably 3 going on 4 years that I've been doing the LLV. And the number of capsules was very intimidating to me, just because it seemed like so much. But if we understand that they're not heat compressed capsules, so they're not like the giant horse pill, take once every day, type of a vitamin, then, it makes it understandable why there's so much. And spreading it out in the way that we do, and not having it heat compressed, to me, made it much more digestible. It was much more tolerable. I've never been able to stay on vitamins every single day, and I take these every single day, and that was a huge part of it.
So when you're saying spreading them out, so there's 2 ways, right? So I do mine where I take the total dose for each one is 4 of the capsules per day. So I take 2 of each of the 3 types of supplements in my morning dose, and I take 2 of each of my different ones, again,
Right.
if you will, in the evening or early evening, whenever I kind of am in that wrapping up my day mode, right?
Right.
Some people, you can, if you prefer, take, they don't have to be taken like meaning each of the 3. You
Right.
could take your XC Omega and then later take your Alpha CRS, like you could do it that way. But you do want to, in my understanding, especially for just absorption and maximizing absorption, is that you don't necessarily want to take all 4 pills of each one at the same time.
Right.
Now, I know that there's different beliefs on that.
You could. But for me, one of the benefits of them not being a giant heat compressed capsule is the fact that my system likes it better, that it's not getting all of that all at once.
Yeah.
And so splitting them into 2 doses just makes it more, I can tolerate it better, right? In order to be able to take it every day, and then you benefit from it every day, right? As we always say, it doesn't help you if it's in the drawer or the cabinet or whatever, right? It only helps you if you actually are consuming it. So what I meant was that you could, if you wanted to, not take all 3 products at the same time.
Okay.
You could spread it out all day if you wanted to. Every 2 hours, take one of them, right? Still taking only that dose of 4 capsules each day. But to me, I would totally forget. I'm not good at anything on the daily at all. I get up, I go to sleep every day. I feed my kids at least a couple times every day. There's, I forget. And so I would never get, if I tried to do it any other way, I can handle twice a day. So I do mine with lunch and I do mine with dinner, just because that's what I can do consistently and remember. And I feel like it has been a real game changer for me with supplements. That was kind of like the beginning, like getting on the LOV and seeing that, oh, wow, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
To have it be a high quality product, to actually be able to take it every single day and get the benefit from it, really was a huge game changer.
Yeah. And I know too, that when people are new, it's really recommended to just do a half dose a day. Start slow. You don't have to jump in
Right.
with both feet, right? You can work your way up. If you're under, 110, 120 pounds, you can actually do the half dose. But
Right.
I feel like if it was intended for us to take all of them at once, meaning all four pills, they wouldn't be in 4 pills. Like, you know what I mean? They would be in 2 pills or, higher, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So, but what's nice about it in this format or in this way is that it allows us to do what is most comfortable for our bodies. So for some people, the smaller dose works for smaller folks, if you will. Other folks are just, regular size folks can take the full dose. You can spread it out how it works for you. It's almost like they've allowed us more freedom.
Yes, so much possibility to customize it to your own personal need. Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you're new to it and we've just confused you all the more with this, just reach out to your wellness advocate and they'll help walk you through it. If they're they're new too, then just reach out to someone else on your team or here. We're happy to help you to kind of work out what is best for you. Everyone's a little different. I, for instance, can take mine in the morning, whenever. I can take mine like as I'm in bed about to lay down to go to sleep at night. And it has does not keep me up. I know one of the gals, Cindy, on our team, if she takes them after noon, it keeps her up at night. So be aware that, everyone's different. I wish it kept me up.
I know, right? I know, because I would strategize that for sure. But that is one of the benefits, right? For a lot of people, they get a real increase in energy.
Yeah.
Once they get on the LOV and get into an established pattern, which is really great. I naturally found the opposite. Like I slept really well. I am not what you would call a high energy person. But it really, and I'm not a bad sleeper, but I'm a late, like I don't like to go to bed. I like to stay up late. And I found that I would get tired, like by the normal bedtime for other people, I would feel tired and want to go to bed. And that's a good thing, right? Because just
Susan's like, what is this? What is this?
What is this going to bed at midnight? I don't understand that.
Midnight. I actually woke up at midnight last night thinking surely it must be 5 a.m. because I've been asleep for 4.5 hours. No, it was midnight. But so Joan, you do yours, you split them into 2, right? And you're like an early afternooner for the second dose, is that right?
I'm trying to juggle with work phone ringing.
Oh, go ahead. No, we can get on to Miss Diana. Do you have a lot of family members who are taking them? Does anyone need to do them differently? Like, because each person is different, you've got all 4 of your family members.
Yeah. No, we all take them with breakfast. So when we have breakfast, we all get in there and take them. And if people have to leave for work or gone in the morning, they take them with them, or they wait to take them till they get back if they forgot. But yeah, my husband always would take them before work with just the vegetable juice that we make, that we usually make from fresh vegetables. So he would just take them, right away. Like he gets up and he has an early meeting in the morning and he's just like, I'm not going to remember my lifelong vitality. So I need to take it immediately or else it's like not going to happen.
Right.
I think that's the key, right? You want to make sure you're where you're doing it is going to actually happen during your day. So you really got to figure out how to keep that habit going.
I think that's so true. I know Tammy has this really great magnetic set that goes like this, like it's really a nice heavy metal magnet set that basically is a shelf that just thunk to the fridge and they keep their bottles in there, right? I'm bopping about all over the place. So I actually reorganized mine into a little like organizer, not so little, but nonetheless an organizer. And so then as soon as I see, you know, wherever I'm at, that's where they are. Right. So sometimes they're at my desk, sometimes they're next to my bed, sometimes we have a drawer in the kitchen where we keep a lot of our oils and supplements for everyone's access. But as soon as I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, here we go. But having access to them and getting the routine going, I think is probably the most important thing. So just make it work for your schedule, right? So I'm sorry, Joan, were you?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so for me, so I'm one of those people that cannot take them on an empty stomach.
Right.
I know some people can. It doesn't work for me to take them on an empty stomach. So I take my morning dose with my morning breakfast bowl or whatever I'm doing for breakfast, which actually tends to be because of my intermittent fasting schedule and because of having the greens and fiber early. That's usually like around 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then I take my second dose when I have my afternoon meal, which is usually around 3-ish, sometime between 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, that works perfectly. Yeah. Some people can't do them on an empty stomach. It doesn't bother me, but it's not uncommon. I think it's less than when you're doing like the heat press ones that, you know, how Susan was talking about that. Well, like, did you ever tolerate those at all?
No, I could never take those really at all. And if I did, then basically I was just, you know, pardon the language, but just peeing them away. So,
yeah,
you know, and I don't have that with these supplements at all. You don't have that big change in your urine and all that, where, you know, you're just like flushing it down the toilet. And what's the point?
Yeah. No,
So
neon green.
you really do absorb it.
Yeah, which is great. So yeah, if you have any more questions about, I mean, it's a regular part. I mean, it's the number one product that doTERRa sells. I will say that for anyone who's trying to do any type of serious protocol or change to their lifestyle, it's a must for foundational. You will get just such better results if that is what you're starting with, and then building upon there, having all of your nutrient needs met is key to everything. And so it's where we always start. I know it's changed my life significantly. Have never been, you know, good at taking any type of medication, which I know this isn't, but I'm just saying, like, in normal, just pills, like just the sight of pills would kind of give me the like, ooh, I don't wanna, you know, like a kid. But in reality, now if I miss it, I'm like, oh no, because they just really help me in so many ways. So just reach out to us though, if you have any more questions on how to get started with them and why we love them. I think we even have a great recording on each of our different experiences with LLV. So check into that. Diana, were you going to say something?
I just wanted to say that we have learned ourselves, and also from our customers and members of our group, that when you are not taking them after you started and got rolling, you really miss them, and you notice that you're not the same person without them. So most people who actually give them a try and go through that 30-day trial, which you can order them as a customer, you can order them and you can try them for 30 days. And if they don't work for you or you don't like them, you can get a 100% refund back on them. So, but most people find that it's great. It's a huge difference from what they were doing before. And if you look at all the things contained in them, it's going to save you so much money, because it contains all those supplements that are constantly right there on the, advertising section of wherever you're going looking at supplements, because they're all the ones you need. And you don't even have to get a separate pill. You have it all in that one. So it's just an amazing value.
Yeah, it's really interesting too. I will say how different the benefit, like why I love them and what they've done for me is so different than, say, like why Joan or Susan or my husband or my son, like our benefit is different. And it just speaks to how the issues we're having are so personal, and how many of your own personal issues can be supported by just getting the right nutrition consistently every day, and having that really good foundation again. So I love that. It's not like we don't all kind of go into the machine and pop out. I had the same, like Romelia within a few days was like, I have so much energy. And I was just like, what are you taking? Because I'm taking the same thing you're taking. And that's not, and I'm like, I'm sleeping like an angel, and so it's just the difference between different people. So it's really, I think that speaks to how well it works in our bodies, right? So,
and I would say one last thing too is to give it a full 30 days, because I know for some people, they really start to feel a difference pretty quickly, right? Within a few days or a week or two. For me, it really was pretty much the whole 30 days before I thought, okay, now I get it. Now I'm feeling it. I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah. So give it that 30 days. And as Diana said, right, if you order it and after that 30 days, really you feel like it didn't do anything for you, they will refund your money for that.
Yeah,
so
for sure, which is awesome.
And also don't forget to put your Queen of Denial hat on, because
well, that is
they work.
Oftentimes, it's very true. The story is often this: people will say, I don't feel any different. And so they'll stop taking them. And within a week and a half to 2 weeks, they go, oh, turns out I was feeling a lot better.
it's subtle.
So gradual. Yeah.
Right. It's
so
subtle.
Don't know.
And we talk about this all the time about how our supplements and our oils, when we're using them therapeutically, they're not like pharmaceuticals, right? It's not that instantaneous within an hour, you feel different. It takes time to really build it up and for your body to really respond. So if you give yourself that time, you'll be well rewarded.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's such a great investment. So definitely check it out, guys. And again, clearly we enjoy talking about it. So we're happy to help you in any way you like. And we've all worked with people with totally different experiences. So just so you know, we've helped people work through it being a rough start and people with it being, So, okay, on to our next question, which is we have a mother who is asking us about, she has 2 young daughters who are both relatively new. One is newer than the other in their cycle. I don't know about you guys, but for me, that was certainly a roller coaster time in my life as far as my body sort of muddling its way through figuring that process out. And, cramps and emotions and irregularity were all sort of the theme for me. And so I think that's pretty common, right? I know I have Diana and I and Tammy and Susan all have daughters that we've kind of experienced this with, right? It's different when you watch someone else go through it than when you went through it yourself. So she's asking about, for young women, what would we do to support, specifically she's asking about cramps. So Susan, you're unmuted, so I know that you've got some good advice for us. I just looked to see, because I figure whoever wants to speak has gone ahead and unmuted, and it works really well. So go ahead, Susan.
That's fine. I am ready. I have a couple of recommendations, actually. The first one would be go back to that baseline that we talked about, right? And think about diet. And is she taking a supplement? Is she getting a good, well-balanced, kind of varied nutrition, you know, throughout the day and that kind of thing, because our bodies respond to that, right? And, you know, our body can only give us a product based on, you know, what we're willing to put in, you know, that kind of thing. So, getting all the vitamins and minerals, getting the healthy fats is really important to our hormone production. And so that can be a help on that level. Going beyond that, of course, my go-to is going to be our Clary Calm, right? Which is really easy for a young person to use. It's in a touch formulation, so it comes already in a roller bottle. It's already blended for the purpose of supporting our monthly cycles. And she can use it right on her abdomen during cramping, and also just every day to support healthy uterine health, right? As an adjunct to that would be the phytoestrogen complex. And I've talked about this before from the other end of life in terms of it's been so supportive of me through the perimenopausal period and, you know, really entering menopause. And it can be just as supportive for someone who is currently menstruating, right? In terms of providing that estrogen-like support, right, in a healthy way. It's not replacing estrogen with synthetic estrogen. It's giving us plant parts that can help to support where our own hormones may be a little bit out of whack. And so we've found in our household, for both of us on very different parts of life, that it's supportive in that way, you know, just kind of meet you where you are and helps to support that healthy hormone balance. And will help for anybody who's dealing with, whether it's the PMS symptoms, you know, that kind of like really intense emotional period that can happen before or during, or period irregularity, all that kind of stuff. The phytoestrogen and the Clary Calm would be my number 1 and 2 in either order.
Yeah,
Whichever one you want to do.
I think so. I think that phytoestrogen, it makes sense to me. And I know that I'm not a nurse, so just as a note, or a doctor, but it makes sense to me that in the same way, or maybe in a different way, but similarly, the result, right? That ramping up has such a wild ride of hormones. And then of course, ramping down has such a wild ride of hormones. And since we know with our doTERRa products that we're never really dealing with symptoms, we're always dealing with foundational causes and balance and bringing things into balance. It makes sense to me that a tool like the phytoestrogen could be a great tool. Certainly it is not going to hurt, to have to take one a day and see if that helps with just that, you know, pendulum swinging back and forth feeling of those early days.
And you bring up a good point in that we're giving information, right? And not medical advice. So you always want, if you have a concern, especially as a parent, right? Like you always want to talk to your healthcare provider, your child's healthcare provider, and, you know, rule out other things going on. But, you know, for most of us, that's a very common occurrence, right? An uncomfortable period. It's just something that we get through. But these tools can be such a huge help in making it not have to be the inevitable, well, I just got to suffer through it, you know, this week, right?
Yeah. Because as we know later on, the world just does not stop.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
That's
right.
what I'm always saying around here. I'm like, I feel you, baby, but you know what? The world just does not stop. We gotta, at some point, you got to figure out how to power through, right? You can also do things like, if it's really bad, you know, the bent over in bed situation, you know, some marjoram. I've heard past tense for a little bit more intense, like, okay, you know, I'm really some copaiba.
Basil too. Basil can be really great right on the abdomen.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, so you know, you've got a range of options to work with. Start with what you have. That's always our motto, but then go from there and work with us, you know, to get what's right for your people in your household. So you might even find that one responds well to one thing. Like in this case, she has 2 daughters, and one will respond well to another. And that might be, you know, what's happening there. Yeah, Diana.
Just additionally, if you don't happen to have the Clary Calm on hand, you can also get some help through floral oils as well. So the rose has been known to be extremely helpful, as well as like the magnolia, and really helping you kind of calm and soothe. And also, if you happen to have a geranium or ylang ylang, those are also really good for just for kind of helping your system to balance, which is what you're dealing with. You're having an excess, you're having kind of a flare up of something, and it needs to rebalance back out. And just, yeah, like Susan said, just take care of yourself, make sure that you're getting enough fiber, getting enough, you know, nutrition that you need. And you know, we've even like turned to, every once in a while if we have to, seaweed snacks. They're very helpful. Dried seaweed can be very helpful for just kind of giving you back that iodine or whatever it is that you're missing in that moment. It's like that first day only usually that you end up having that, but yeah, that has helped too, just in a pinch, you know.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice to have a list of suggestions, because then you have, you know, see what you have, right? Okay, so our next question, let me see here, is about the Adaptiv collection. So, and how to use it as, okay, so let me read it actually. How do I use the Adaptiv collection to combat stress and anxiety? So this makes sense. I mean, you know, it does come with some information, I do believe. However, it can be a little bit like, you look at it and you go, okay, there's a supplement, there's a roller ball, there's the oil itself, you know, and it does seem kind of obvious. One is internal, one is topical, one is aromatic. But how do you use it as sort of like, what's the protocol use? If you're going to be using this every day, you want to do like a good, you know, 60 days of really working with this to see if how well it supports your anxiety and such. Sort of what do you do, right? So I can jump on that a little bit, and then we'll run over to Diana and whoever else. The best thing to do again is going to be to start honestly with LLV. I know that sounds like a bunch of crap, but in this situation and in most of our supplements, things that work that way, they are designed to work in partnership with the LLV. So the assumption is that your nutrition is in order, your foundational health is being treated, which for a lot of people with anxiety, I for one, and I've done a whole thing on it, that was a huge factor for me. So getting that in order. Then on top of that, what you do is you get this lovely roller ball, you've got your oil, and you've got your supplement. You take the supplement every day. Okay. For some people, they like to take it in the morning. For some people, they like to take it in the evening. It's up to you. I personally take it both. The beautiful thing is that you can figure out for yourself what works best, right? And then as far as the roller ball, that's something I just like to have on hand at all the time. That's sort of like the putting out the fire, right? Like, okay, I'm either about to walk into a stressful situation, or I'm starting to feel that little flutter that I now know is sort of my like, reaction. Just go ahead and use that. Use it on your pulse points, use it on the back of the stem, your brain stem type area in the back of your neck. Give a little sniff as you're using it in your elbow creases. Really great way to use it. I love that specifically for like kids, if you're in school, or for you, if you're at work and you can't diffuse, for instance. It's a great tool. Then the last one is the oil, which to me is mostly obviously just going to be what you use in your diffuser. Okay. I personally find that the best way to use that is throughout the evening, because I'm in one room. I'm getting a full 10 hours, if you will, or whatever amount of time I'm in there, which isn't usually 10 hours, of sort of an ongoing dose, if you will. If you work at the same station for a long period of time in the day, that's where you want it. This isn't necessarily the put it in the living room and just be meandering in and out of the space. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You want this, if you're trying to get the aromatic benefits from it, you want to be near it. So, or you can be like Joan and get a pilot and just walk around with that everywhere. Joan, we need to design like a little hip pack for the pilot.
I mean, or, you know, like a little lanyard or something, right?
Like
So
really,
it's like just right here.
like those wine glass things for
Yes.
like conventions or parties, right? But
Yes.
with a pilot right here. Okay, we need a prototype because I can just totally, and it's just right.
Exactly.
So that's the way that that's the recommendations that I have for it. Now, that being said, not everyone uses every part of it, right? So I know, Joan, you use the aromatic and topical more so.
I use aromatic and topical more so. Although I have been considering, I have some things sort of upcoming on my schedule over the next few months that could trigger a little bit. So I'm probably going to start back on the supplement as well. And I found when I was taking the supplement that morning worked well for me. And I do, so the way I'm using aromatically and topically right now is it is generally the first thing I diffuse in the morning. And it's usually while I'm sort of sitting, it's dark, it's quiet. I just have that going just to those few minutes where I might be having a cup of tea, getting ready to start on my morning routine. So it's sort of the first thing that I take in. If I know I'm going to have a stressful work day, it is in my pilot right here at my work desk, just going. So it's right there. And then the roller, I love that roller and I will carry it with me. I like to use it at night before bed. I diffuse other things at night and then put the roller on. And, you know, back of the neck, pulse points, wrists, all up, you know, down from my wrist to my elbow crease, you know, all in there and over my heart. And then I have that sort of all right with me as I'm going to sleep. Plus I have the support of whatever I'm diffusing as I go to sleep. So that's pretty much, that's how I'm using it. But I have been thinking I probably am going to add back the supplement.
I love that supplement. It's so good. It's so subtle, and you just kind of notice, I don't know, I definitely noticed that where other things could start. And when I don't have it, for instance, if I don't have it, I will kind of start, what's the word for it? You know, somebody will say something, or I'll read a text, or I'll see a message on it.
Ruminating.
Thank you. I will start ruminating. I will just start going to town in my head on it and getting myself, you know, either upset, my feelings hurt, or worked up, and really none of it has a darn thing to do with me. And it's like, what am I doing? But when I'm on my Adaptiv, I kind of just look at it and go, well, I hope they have a better day, you know, and I'm off. It's not even that I have to think about it. I just don't find myself in that situation. And it's not that those situations aren't there anymore because I'm taking Adaptiv. It's that I'm just able to adapt to them better, for lack of a better, you know, I mean, I can roll with it. The triggers don't trigger me. And I like that feeling. So even on dumb little stuff, not necessarily full on anxiety attacks, just dumb little stuff, it feels good to not have your day blown or even an afternoon blown because you've just gotten yourself derailed by something. It's nice to not do that anymore. Yeah,
That's
Diana.
why I keep an arsenal of roller balls by my desk.
There you go.
Magnolia, Claricom, Adaptiv, Console, whatever I feel I need at the moment, depending on what's happening at my desk.
There you go. Well, you know, and you see, I think that's the difference. You actually hit it there. Whereas that's what I normally was doing before I had Adaptiv. What I find now is I'm not reaching for my cope now oils because I'm just not even in those scenarios. I don't know what it is, but I'm not finding myself in those scenarios anymore or as often. And so I'm actually using less of my emotional oils because I'm not going there as often when I'm doing my supplements. So it's really interesting. I've been shocked by it ever since I started it. And obviously I'm a big fan. So sorry, Diana, go ahead.
I just wanted to give a little shout out for your example is a beautiful example of the way that normally Adaptiv works so well. But I want to give a little shout out for just like quickly, episodically in an acute situation use. You do not have to take it every day in order for it to help you. I have given it to my kids when they had a job interview, when they had a test, when they were having a super intense situation that was happening that they really needed to get through, they were stressed about, or I've given myself an extra little top up in that moment that I needed it, like stuff is just starting to crash all around you and you're just like, I'm on the verge of freaking out. So you're like, let me take my Adaptiv. And, so you can use it, you can understand that, it's most beneficial when you do kind of program your day around it, but you can just have it there and turn to it. Toss it in that diffuser for a minute and and sit in front of that diffuser. You can, whatever way you prefer to take it in or take the roller ball. I think that people have a different response to it depending on what their kind of body works like. So sometimes that immediate effect is through like getting it onto your body and taking it in that way. But for some people, like in that diffuser or in like even just a hand diffuser, they're able to interrupt that moment and really just like go, okay, I'm not going to let this like take me away, this situation go sweeping me away into the freak out zone. And so, I totally, Adaptiv can totally work in a situational episodic thing too. So
I like
both ways is what I'm saying.
And Joan's recognizing like, I've got this stuff coming up. I can already feel it coming. And I know like this is going to be a time when this extra tool can work. And similar to the LLV, like we were talking about people on our team who get a whole bunch of energy, from it, and other people, it's going to work differently for everyone. And you're right, like the rollerball could be just as effective, or the aromatic. It depends on how your body works and what works best for you, right? But what I like is that we have those options with this collection, and you can kind of, do all three. You can pick and choose your way through. You can opt in and opt out at different times based on what's happening in your world. It has a lot of flexibility. I also like that.
Or you could go with the mind and mood kit and learn all about all that different stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, but then those are so different too than anxiety, because anxiety is not the same as you know what I mean? It is a little different than like the emotional kit. But yes, if you are someone who gets that response from there, absolutely. You just have to find the things that work for you. In this case, you have a lot of options. I think that with essential oils, this is one area where you just have so many options, emotional for sure, but even with anxiety too, you do have a lot of options as far as finding what works for you. And I really like that this is also a great tool for younger people, because of the fact that it can be just aromatic. I mean, just aromatic alone in the home is such a gentle way to support younger people who are having stress. And like you said, Diana, a big exam or a job interview or something, you have all these options. So really, really
driving test.
There you go. Or wait, I need that for the driving test or on the way when you're driving them, right? Sorry, Susan, go ahead.
Oh, not at all. I was just going to say, similar to Diana, we kind of use this. I have two kids who last year during the school year, one in college and one in high school, but taking college level classes, it was very helpful for kind of, dealing with the stress. And they took it every day during the school year, hopefully twice a day. That was the plan. And then, during the summer, we talked about it. And like, do you feel like, and we're having a really like ridiculously low key summer. Like there's
Nice,
really,
isn't
really nobody's stressed. There's no reason to be stressed in this house right now. So they felt like they really didn't need it over the summer, right? And with the assurance that it's there if you want it, I got plenty of it, that kind of thing. And I'm very sure that once August comes and that situational anxiety comes back, they'll be back on it. And they found it really helpful. And we talked about it, is this just another thing I'm making you do, or do you really feel like it makes a difference? And they both really felt like it helped. Doesn't mean school is less stressful, right? But their response to it, the way they're able to not get bogged down in that anxiety of, oh my gosh, there's so much, and what if I don't do well, and I test anxiety and all that kind of stuff. They were able to roll with those punches much more easily, taking the Adaptiv supplement.
Yeah, I think that it's nice to know, unlike a lot of things that are sort of resources for people with anxiety, whether it's situational or, ongoing chronic situation, typically it's kind of scary because it's like, well, if you start it, how do you get off of it? What do you do? Do you have to, this is not that.
Right.
This is not that at all. And you really can do exactly that. Like, take it during the time when you need it, and don't take it when you don't need it. And during the school year, if that's a time, or during whatever, for sure. If you're like me and you kind of always have that anxiety issue, then you get to take it all the time. But that's a great thing, to have that as a tool too. So, and there is a lot that you can do in the mind and mind and mood kit, that collection, especially because of the 3-month unfolding of it, working with your wellness advocate to kind of find what works for you, which is really nice because you kind of get to try a lot of different things in there. So, okay, so those were our big questions. Now we get to have fun with, so, okay, new shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in conditioner came out. It finally came in the mail. Joan was the first to get it in our group, as far as in the full packaging, the pretty, the everything, right? And the travel kit she got. But this was your first, so you had been using the old shampoo, right? Give me the story.
So I have been using the old shampoo and conditioner and was loving it, right? Loved that, loved the way my hair felt and responded to it. Very happy with it, right? But with the new coming out, I wanted to hop on and get the special, right, of the fabulous travel kit, which is just so lovely, and this lovely little, it feels really nice. And so I wanted to go ahead and get the whole trio, because then if you do that on your LRP for an additional $10 only, you get the fabulous travel kit, right? Which is just a killer deal. We were talking about this last night. It's an amazing deal. So I wanted to get it. And while I have an unopened original conditioner, and I probably have, several inches left in my current bottle of shampoo of the old version. I did go with the new ones this morning, and one little tiny aside, the shrink wrap around those bottles is a pain. It's a pain. Trying to do it in the morning before a shower. Yeah. So just bear that in mind, unwrap things. But I really loved both the shampoo and the conditioner. The aroma is different to me. It's definitely, there's a different aroma, but it felt great. My hair feels great. I used it this morning, and then I used the leave-in conditioner, which is new, right, with this whole new set. So that's a new thing. So I tried that. And again, it's really light. It's not, I don't feel like my hair is weighed down or anything like that. I had also gotten, because I wanted to try the root to tip serum, but I didn't use it this morning since I was using the leave-in conditioner.
Yeah.
So probably, Friday morning, I'll try the root to tip serum instead of the leave-in conditioner. And then I also had gotten the Healthy Hold glaze, which I did use this morning. And yeah, love it. Love it. I don't always dry my hair, but I did this morning. I'm one of those people that, I don't know, erroneously or not, thinks that, when you've had color done on your hair, the heat of the hair dryer for the first few times helps to set that color. I don't know.
Okay.
Old wives' tale.
looks
I don't know.
really pretty.
But thank you. Yeah, so I don't normally dry my hair, but I decided, all right, well, this morning, with using the glaze and the leave-in conditioner, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually like dry it and have it look sort of the way it's supposed to look. And I'm loving it. Love it, love it.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I'm so now you guys have all gotten to try it, and I have not yet got to try it. So I got to get my order. I'm so excited to get to. Well, and what's funny is you guys all like it. So, Diana, you really like it as well. You all have very different hair from one another. Like just looking, if you're looking at this and not on the podcast, Susan's is up, but Susan has fine hair that is really thick, as in like she has a lot of it. Diana has these gorgeous curls, right? Is your hair fine or is it actually more coarse?
It's more to the fine side. It's not coarse. I have a lot of strands of hair. Yeah. But yeah, I love that leave-in conditioner because it didn't, I was just talking to my daughter who also has curly hair about this, and my and really fine hair. And we were talking about how the presence of protein in certain hair products can really, straighten it more, like if there's a lot of protein in there. So they did a really good job with balancing that out. And also there's no silicone or these things that also weigh down the hair strands. So when you have curly hair, you need like moisture, but you don't want like weight on it because then it flattens the curl, right? Or changes the way the curl looks. So the shampoo and conditioner, nice and tingy and like super refreshing. I love that. And I think I went through those much faster than I did the leave-in conditioner, but I just added that leave-in conditioner to my routine and just tried to make it last as long as possible. And it was great. Like I loved it. I loved the way that it worked. It really did help me to not have any kind of frizz happening. And because it's like your hair is just reaching out for that moisture. So it was obviously moisturizing the hair really well and keeping it that way all day. And like Susan said, it didn't get that kind of almost, what is it? It's like you feel like your hair is getting dusty or something, like you were saying.
Dirt.
It's like,
Yeah.
What is that? That's so
Yeah.
So it didn't have that effect, which you can kind of feel when you touch your hair, and it just was great. I love it. It's really good.
I think it's so cool that everyone has such different, usually, that's the thing. You go down the hair aisle or whatever, and it's like for this type, for that type, for that type, for this type. And we have people here who have colored hair, non-colored hair, curly, thick, fine, whatever. I think we're running, what are we missing? For the most part, a lot of different hairs here, and it needs to be working for everyone. So I'm excited to try it because I really do love the old one. I will say, as a person who wears glasses, and my shower is a little dark. I need better lighting in my shower. I'm so glad that the shampoo and conditioner are two different colors. The bottles are two different colors. I mean, yes. I know that sounds, but if you know, you know.
I never thought about that.
I know. And yeah,
me all the time. Like,
I was so glad. And as I got in this morning, I'm like, okay, well, what color is the shampoo? All right, and let me put it on the shampoo side, right? Because I do that too, because I'm totally blind. So the shampoo goes here. I know that's the shampoo. And then on this side and I had to do that with the reveal this morning too. I'm like, which one is one, which one is two? And I'm like, wait, what is it? I can't see it.
The reveal gets me every time. I always have to like, kind of like map it out, because they stay in my shower, because that's where I use the reveal system, which by the way is flipping amazing, guys. But they really look, they have a stripe on them that are slightly different colors, and one has a teeny tiny number 1 and one has a teeny tiny number 2, and they're very different when they come out of the little tube. But man, oh man, I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally grabbed number 2 and I needed number 1, and you can't do anything because it's not like you can do it in any order. There's a reason they're numbered. And so I always have to kind of like, okay, that I'm putting this one here and I'm putting that one there. Now I'm taking off my glasses and I'm getting in the shower. So I'm so excited that these are two different colors, the shampoo and conditioner. So I can just stress-free shower, man, and not accidentally condition first, right? Because the other two, they're like, well, see, and by the way, I use the big giant, the shampoo and conditioner of the old set.
Right.
If you have the regular size, are very different, right? But if you use the big brown bottles or whatever, they pretty much, they look exactly the same. So except for what the actual liquid looks like, but I can't see that. So that's my only thing that I know at this point, because I don't have it yet, is that I'm excited for the different bottles. Plus they are pretty. I'm not gonna lie, they're cute, right? They have a nice fresh look to them. The colors are very in, if you will. And I'm really excited about the travel kit. That travel kit looks awesome. And it, you know what, too, Manny was just gone for like 2 weeks, right? It's nice to have a travel size shampoo and conditioner that will last you 2 weeks, not just, you know what I'm saying? The little ones that it's like
Yes.
shampoos, and it's, I
Yeah.
hate the ones in the, I mean, God, what is in those ones in hotels? I don't care what hotel. It can be Crabtree and Evelyn, and there's some sort of watered down factor where you have to use like the whole bottle to even get a sud. This
Yeah.
looks like it's, I mean, that's gonna last you a whole trip.
This will last you a whole trip. I mean, this would last, gosh, this would probably last me a couple of weeks, certainly a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, because I do not wash my hair every day. I
Yeah.
freely admit that. I don't wash it every day. So this would easily last me a long trip.
So Joan, if you take the lid off of that, is that a refillable?
It is a refillable.
Oh, nice.
I haven't taken the little doohickey off, but yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
it's
it's not like
refillable.
a permanent, just little tiny drops
And then it's got the, little
of a
tip
clip.
up.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So
Nice.
you tip up and pour out. Yeah. And then it is totally refillable. Yeah. Which
Love
is great.
that.
And all three of them are refillable, right? Because this is, oh, actually that was the leave-in conditioner. That's the shampoo. But yeah, so even the leave-in conditioner is refillable, right? So all three are refillable, which is awesome.
That is.
Can I tell you a little thing I discovered yesterday? I was
Yes.
playing around in my
Please do.
LRP cart. Excuse me. I was looking at my order for this month and kind of, figuring out what was going to be. And I put 2 sets of the hair care in my cart just to see if it would work. And you can get a travel kit for every hair care kit that you get. So if you wanted to get 2 sets, you can get 2 travel kits. It's only 1 per set. I did try to
Just that
max
would
that
work,
out.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
So
that's how you learn.
that's how you learn, right? Throw it in there and see what happens. But for each hair care set, and I didn't see what the limit was because like I wouldn't get more than 2 at this point, but
That's
you know,
nice because it's not limit 1 per account or limit
that's
1 per
exactly what I'm getting at.
LRP run. Oh, I like
So if
that.
you're in a situation where you need one for you and a friend, or you and a spouse, or you and say one for a gift, or you have somebody who just wants to kind of try it and they're not really sure about the shampoo, or whatever. It's just so many possibilities.
Yeah, like if you
Right.
have your own travel kit that you really love right now,
Right.
get this and give it as a gift.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice.
I'm just thinking dorm life all the way. You don't want to haul giant bottles of shampoo and conditioner with you to the shower.
That's a
You
great
know,
point.
this is a small travel little bag. It's refillable. So if you have it in your room to refill or whatever, but it's just perfect for that. I know that that's a thing, not wanting to take the big old thing of shampoo and conditioner with you every time. If you're not lucky enough to have like a suite with a shower.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Right to the
Very,
public.
very long time ago.
I never did do that, but it's things like that. I'm always like, well, what do you do about this? What do you do about that? Like when Gray went off to school with the dorm, it was just like, but you're going to have to
How
carry,
does
like
that work? Yeah.
everything has to be like small because you're like, you can't, the bathroom is not yours. Like
Show up with your little basket.
you move in, you move out all in the same, like, half an hour or whatever. So yeah, but that portability is nice. By the way, side note, off topic, the doTERRa laundry detergent, amazing for dorm life because it's that one bottle will last pretty much the entire school year for one kid to do some laundry, especially a boy who probably didn't wash his sheets very often. But like, it's so compact, and it's so concentrated that little tiny bottle, he'd throw it in his bag. I mean, he never, worried. That was his thing. So anyhow, I am so excited to try it. And I do want to know though, Joan, because I know this is not a new product, but the reveal, how was the big reveal?
I loved it. I am totally in love with the reveal system. Yeah. My skin felt fantastic afterward. And I can just imagine that with regular use, maybe once a week or so, it just continues to get better. But yeah, it was very simple to use. And I followed your protocol there, Kari, to, get the conditioner into my hair. And then I did the reveal. And so then and then rinsed everything. And it was great. And I was like you, I had to be very careful about making sure 1 was 1 and 2 was 2 and where they were in my shower caddy in the corner to, sounds so blind. But I loved it. It was so easy to use. And yeah, those tubes will last a long time. Holy schmoly.
Yeah,
you just use a teeny tiny bit. And I did have like a tiny bit of redness when I finished, but that went away, within the first half hour of getting out of the shower and, putting my other product on my face in the morning. So loved it, loved it.
You can really, the day that, like, I love to do it. Like if I'm going to do something or go somewhere, or I want to just feel good about myself, I also go down here.
I did come down neck. So how far do you come down? Diana, Miss Skincare Maven, do you come to the décolleté?
You can, yeah, you can. It's really great. It's got that microdermabrasion at home situation. And, it really is very effective. It works really well. It doesn't have creepy ingredients in there or particles that are harmful for the water or anything like that. And just, take the time to work with step 1. And that really gets all the sloughing off really going. But then when you do the step 2, that also has enzymes in it, and that's going to really be able to continue the process, right? You can get the dryness and the stuff that's actually physically, kind of ready to go with the step 1. You get that right away, but then you follow it with those enzymes, and that really helps to actually finish the work of cleansing those, parts that are ready to go, the things that they're ready to exfoliate, but they're just not like already loose, which a lot of us, we can see it, right? We can see that there's like a little bit of a layer happening there. And so, just watch for that to see how often you would like to do it, because this is so gentle that you could do it daily if you wanted to, but you do not have to do it daily. You can just see when you feel like, okay, this is a good day to kind of like have my Friday morning refresh or whatever it is, and just work with that. But yeah, you can go all the way down the neck because it's gentle. You can go anywhere on the body if you want to, but it's made for that gentle facial skin and neck. And your neck is also just as gentle, you're just no tugging and like, gouging of anything. Just be gentle.
So here's a question for you, Diana, and this is what I was kind of thinking about this morning. So I really loved it. And what would you recommend in terms of like ratio or time between the mud mat?
I like to give it time. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yes. So I like to kind of extend it a little bit between step 1 and step 2, because I'm working it through and trying to find all the spots that are kind of feeling like they need the exfoliation. And then I just kind of let it sit there for a minute, or 2. Like I try to make sure they're not rushing to the next step. And definitely the second step is going to take you longer than the first step of just kind of sitting there, because it's doing work, but it's just sitting on your skin. So you feel like it's not, you're like, well, now I put that on, now I should rinse it off. No, give it a second, give it a little bit. I would say try to extend it to like 3 to 4 minutes, if as far as you can go. And if you even want to continue to do a little bit of, rubbing it in, that's not going to hurt it. That's going to work just fine. And then, of course, then you're rinsing clean and making sure you're prepped for it is important too. Don't use it as a face wash. It is a special treatment for exfoliation. So don't like get in there and use it like you're washing your face. Wash your face first, and make sure your makeup is off and all of that. I see you over there.
Don't do that at all.
So yeah, cleanser first, facial cleanser first, and then microdermabrasion. That way, you're really getting all the way to where you want to get, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like any kind of treatment. You don't want anything in the way of that. You want to be able to treat it, the bare skin.
Okay. And then days between using the Reveal and using the spa mud mask.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. Yes. And also you can tell there's times during the month as a person, as a woman, for guys, it's totally different. When my son, I make him use that mud mask. I'm like, you smell, put this on. So, or your face needs a treatment, put this on. I just tell him, it's time, kid. But for women, we have a certain time of the month where our skin is kind of more irritated, has a tendency to be more irritated, right? So just be aware of that. Any kind of premenstrual time is going to be a time when you don't want to be doing, any kind of treatments that are going to make your skin red, because it will last longer. It will last longer premenstrual. Yes. You have a little bit of inflammation, and then it hurts more too. If you like if you're plucking, or if you're like doing wax or something like that to remove facial hair or something. Yeah, you should not be waiting until the week before your period to go in there and get started with that. That's the worst time you can, because your skin's going to react more strongly than the rest of the month. So just try to avoid that time and be gentle with yourself. And yes, give yourself at least, I would say at least 3 days. It just depends on your skin texture, but with your skin texture, Joan, and where you are in life with your skin, you should be gentle with it. You should give it a little time, when you're like, if somebody has like, they're constantly having like, they're constantly having like where their pores, they feel like their pores are getting clogged, then they should, then they need to get more regular with all of the treatments, and, really work with it on a weekly basis, just to keep everything in check,
I have to say, of all of the things that I have ever done, which is, not a big list, I've never done a thing like at a spa. I've never been to a spa and had like a facial or anything of that nature, right? But of all of the different tools that even I have in my wonderful doTERRa collection, nothing can take me from like looking 5 years younger or something healthier. It gets rid of the Reveal system I'm talking about. Dull skin makes you look old, fresh, dewy, healthy skin that's not grayed out or dull makes you look younger. You look vibrant and your skin is glowing and shiny, and it's just, it's amazing what that Reveal system does.
Yes.
In that one shower.
This is a great, yes.
Yep. Backs of the hands. Don't forget.
Yes, this is also going to
you.
be a very gentle like
Mhm.
this needs a gentle treatment. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You're so right, Joan. Your feet are not going to need that, but the backs of the hands, especially as you get older, you know, it really is a telltale sign and can look uncared for if you know,
Yeah.
if you don't
I think we've probably
give
all
it some
seen that,
attention.
right? Someone who spent like a lot of time and money here, and then
Yep.
the hands are like, whoa, okay, that's like 80 years old over here. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and
Exactly.
here, you
And
know,
here
just out
too.
here.
yeah.
And here,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're busty, because I'm busty, so you do get, I know, but you get a lot of wrinkles because you know there's stuff to wrinkle stuff around here. But you know, you really do notice that. So I do the face, and then with whatever product is left on my hands, I'll go around my neck here, you know, and do one of these. And then the same with the next. I don't like apply more to those areas. I just kind of keep using whatever I have
Pro
there.
tip.
Well, I know, but you know what I mean? Because I don't know, because I don't want to rinse it away. Like just
Right.
use it more places. I'll be using it everywhere soon. Look out, because I think it's amazing. I love how soft you feel. Well, you look amazing. You look just radiant. I mean, that's the perfect word for it, right? And just
Yes.
it feels good, right?
It
So well,
does.
thank you. Thank you for sharing your new spa, Joan's Spa Day.
My spa
It's
morning.
great to feel real though, right, Joan?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
great to feel like a real person who really does actually care for their skin,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what honors you and honors you know, wherever you are in life, you know,
And don't
not trying
forget
to
hydration.
fake it or
Yes.
inject it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. That's really everywhere. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road. So have a great rest of your week, everyone. So many great things. If you did not catch the July special breakdown, woo, you need to check that out because it's not, I mean, the specials are great in July, but it's really about those new products and new ways of getting things and new enrollment kits and add-ons and yowza. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of opportunities happening this month. So check that out. Miss Susan's hormone class will be live on YouTube tomorrow morning. So if you missed that and you're in our continued ed, now you can finally get caught up. So took me a minute to get that one out. Sorry about that, guys, but you know, sometimes things happen. So other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Yeah. Have a good Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's a Monday.
Yeah.
Bye.
On Monday. Oh, I'm going to throw out there really quick. Monday is the start of a new round of continuing ed. So if you've been dragging your feet or you fell off the train and you
Right.
want to keep going again, or you're relatively new and you just never kind of got into it, it is the perfect one to come to. Also, I will say the first one is really good to come to even if you don't have an account yet. Because it's all about like, I got my oils now. What it's just the perfect sort of like, so you're kind of into doing this oil thing, right? Well, here's some great information. I love that as an intro class as well. So come out and play and we will see you guys there on Monday.
Sounds great.
Thank you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.